Before there was banana, there was both very annoying creatures, but if you're under the age of 10, it's probably the best thing you've ever seen. And in this video, I just want to explain how these B-side characters that are goofy, stupid, one-liners, such as the Minions, the Rabbids, and also the aliens from Toy Story. I wouldn't put them in the same category, but we're specifically talking about the Minions and the Rabbids. They're kind of things as a whole, where it's not just one character, it's loads of them. And they're just meant to be annoying, like random lol humor. At this rate, if I do find that funny, I might as well go to pre-edgy YouTube with like the random lol early 2010s.
Hey Apple!
The problem is with these types of characters that, like I spoke about before, is in small doses, don't get me wrong, are quite funny. You know, back in the day, Despicable 1, Despicable 2, I found that quite funny. And even with the Rabbids, you know, the main thing of them screaming and just saying random stupid shit was kind of funny. And I found it hilarious screaming banana and all that stuff they used to say. But the gimmick does get a bit dull after a while, because if you keep repeating yourself, I understand, like with these gimmicks, is that, yeah, it's funny, but if you keep doing it over and over again, you're gonna kill it. That's the reason why these funny things are done in small doses, like originally how it was planned. Like the Minion movie, and also how Rayman Raven Rabbids just dropped Rayman in the third game. These companies forget that we really just want them in little doses. And it's funny, but the main character is the reason why we like it in the first place. Let's say from the Ice Age, we had Scrap, when we made a whole film about him. It wouldn't be that great nor funny, because in the small doses where you've got his short little skits and cameos throughout the Ice Age film, which in retrospect doesn't really add to the film, but it does, if you understand what I mean. Like, it's funny and it adds to it, but if it wasn't there, would the film be the same? Probably. There is obviously somewhat of a story behind him. It's not enough for a watchable audience. Like, maybe if it was like a little short, like 5-10 minutes, that's fine. But imagine a whole film on Scrap. I know some people would love this, but it wouldn't be good. A supporting character, or a side character, or a sidekick, whatever you want to call them, are there to support the main character in some sort of way. To give them more of a background story, to give a bit more funny and humour to it, or just to help them in general. Personally, I think we all love a side character, like Robin from Weasley, Bender, and even Scrap from Ice Age. A main character is a main character. A side character stays in its place. It's there to support, like we said at the start of this chapter. It's to help them out and give them more of a story, laughter, and support them as a supporting character in the areas where they lack. Taking this away, you've now made the side character a main character, and that just doesn't really work. They're side characters for a reason. Rayman was released in 1995, and until 2006, it was all about Rayman and his amazing tales, stories, and adventures. Rayman worked with his side-scrolling platform games. With the era of the Super Mario Brothers, this was the usual platform games you would see. Rayman 4 started production in 2005, with the original game being Rayman 4: The Raving Rabbids. The original plot from Rayman 4 was going to be where the former enemy Andrea from Rayman 3 was going to save the world with Rayman against the army of Rabbids. After several months of making Rayman 4, they decided to scrap it and start all over again, making it more mini-game based due to the new Wii controllers having the motion control. The story of the Raving Rabbids start when Rayman is having a picnic with the Glowbox kids, and suddenly an earthquake appears with the Rabbids coming through the burrows, kidnapping Rayman and the Glowbox kids. They throw Rayman into a cell and using him for these survival games to collect and get back the Glowbox kids. After several trials and tribulations, Rayman actually escapes with all the plungers that he's collected. But as you see, as he walks up and near the end of the game, they actually respect him and love him, which is strange because when you see the new ones, like the second Rayman, Raving Rabbids 2, and just when they are interacting with the Rabbids in general, they hate him, which doesn't make any sense because at the end, the Rabbids really love Rayman. Is it because he escaped? Who knows? But, you know, as you can see from here, there's not really any hate near towards the end. So where did the Rayman hate train start? Who knows? They decided to make Rayman Raving Rabbids a spin-off, and they made a trilogy called Rayman 1, Rayman 2, and Rayman TV Party. After that, they just dropped Rayman all together and made so many games, it's unreal. Did they milk the Raving Rabbids until there was no fluids left in their little bodies? Yes. The spin-off went so far, they even made a Mario and Rabbids. And funny enough, in 2023, they actually released a DLC with Rayman in the Phantom Show, which means 15 years later, they decided to go, oh yeah, who was the original person who brought this in? Oh, we'll just bring bring him back for one more time. The real reason why we love the Rabbids in the first place is to kind of beat them up. You know, you were Rayman throwing plungers at them, you would use them to pretty horrible ways, and the whole point, it was funny, kind of hurting them random low humor. But as soon as you take Rayman out, then what is it? Like, personally, I've not met anyone who's played probably past Rabbids Go Home. They even made a show called Rabbids Invasion, which I didn't even know existed until making this video. I can understand trying to make some lore and things like that, but do we really care? Not really, no. I just want to see these cute, disgusting rabbits just getting beaten up, personally. Nah, I'm kidding. It just adds a bit more life and character to the game. And I think by themselves, yeah, I guess it works, but it just doesn't give me that much oomph, really. It's a shame, but I think where they are kind of gimmicky, original, when you're doing it, what, how many times? 25 times over 18 years, you know, that is something. You got to remember, these kids who are probably, what, 4 to 6 years old when the first one came out, they're now like 24, 25. I think for me, the mini games worked really, really well as like a party type thing, but when you're going off in different directions, it's not really that party, new Wii controller motion vibe anymore. Especially for the Wii at the time being so different, iconic, and no one else really had this motion part from PlayStation who brought it in, kinda, but no one really played it. But anyway, like realistically, you know, playing devil's advocate, would it work doing 18 more games with Rayman chasing the rabbits? Probably not. And I guess Ubisoft saw this future of possibly it wouldn't work Rayman being there, and you know, I fully accept that. Just I feel like, why get rid of the main character completely? And that goes for everything. It's just a shame seeing these great characters being thrown in the dark, and you know, they brought out the Origins and Legends, which is great, but obviously their main focus was on the Raving Rabbids in general. Like, it would be sick if they brought out on like the Switch, whatever, this brand new interactive Raving Rabbids, like a remastered. Yeah, that would be great. Just some things are meant to be left alone and be iconic and classic instead of just milking it until people, quite frankly, don't care about it anymore. I'm having a bad day. It's about time that I get my way. Steamrolling wherever I see. Despicable Me. Before I start having a yap, regardless, that song is dope. Like, Pharrell killed it with that one. And then the second one, Because I'm Happy, Clap Along. Like, bro, what went from like the most baddest rap song ever to the shittest pop song ever? Like, the fuck? Despicable Me released in 2010 and the takeover begun. Everything was just yellow as if The Simpsons came back again. And did you know the reason why The Simpsons were yellow? So if you're flicking through the channels, obviously yellow grabs your eyes, so that's why people would go, oh, okay, I'll watch this looks cool. And the same effect is with the Minions as well, with a few of their catchphrases grabbing people like banana and things like that. You know, it really destroyed if you ever looked at a banana again. These little creatures that were alongside the films really added that funniness, random lol humor, and just made the film that much better rather than a guy with 3 orphan children. The problem is that Despicable Me was about Gru and 3 kids, then turned more into the Minions and Gru and the 3 kids. The whole point of the Minions is they're meant to be these supporting characters, helping out Gru in their little troubles and tribulations. The main focus being on the Minions is to the fact where they made 3 films and 2 sequels. The sequels being the Minions, and then at the end they're like, oh shit, who was actually part of the film? Oh, we'll whack Gru at the end for a sequel. And I get it, you know, it's a great prequel type thing, but again, the whole reason why I'm talking about this and the Rabbids earlier is the fact that it's become more about them than the actual characters who are the main characters. So now these characters are not supporting characters anymore. They're now main characters alongside Gru, which is fine. You know, this is for kids, but this gimmick is now becoming a normality. So where this was different, you know, new for its time, now it's like, oh, the Minions, oh yeah, Facebook mum memes. Let's squeeze the living daylights out of them and make a game called Minion Rush, which is just Temple Run, Subway Surfers, that kind of era. But it didn't stop there. We had Minions Monopoly, Minions DS game, Minions Uno, Minions 6-in-1 games. Milking Rabbids, now we're milking the Minions. Wonder if the Minions have nipples. I'm not mad at the companies going, okay, cool, well, this side character is more funny and goofy and we can milk the living hell out of it for marketing. The kids love it. That's the main focus. It's all about the kids. Why would you advocate this annoying stuff to adults? God, no way. Because I think we're trapped from when we were childhood going, oh, you know, why do they do this? Why do they do that? It's not marketed towards us. It's marketed towards the kids. When referring to something, why have it like Despicable Me or Rain Man, Raving Rabbids, when you can go Rabbids or Minions, which are both wicked to say? I know know, I understand that Rain Man is different, but doesn't give you that Rain Man rather than, you know what I mean? It's a bit more easier to do. And also, if it's annoying and it's upsetting your parents and other people, then obviously you're going to retaliate and enjoy it more. Like, my parents bring up all the time when you just go around and go, like, it still upsets them to this day when they hear the noise. It's triggering. But as a child, obviously, like, oh, this annoying my parents, I'm going to love it more. And it being goofy and not too complicated, it's just easy for these kids to grasp. I just think, personally, it'd be better if these characters were more of the keep to the side, less gimmicky, because we'll enjoy them more and cherish them more in their nature. That being said, maybe we might see the return of Raving Rabbids with Rain Man as a game, as a mini game like before. You know, it'd be brilliant if they release it on Nintendo Switch, like a remaster or something, etc. Got Despicable Me 4 coming out soon, which I'm guessing will be good. I actually haven't seen anything past 2. One brilliant example of a supporting character coming the main focus is actually Iron Man, because originally it was more like a side character to Spider-Man. But that being said, you needed a strong character like Robert Downey Jr., otherwise it wouldn't be great. Other supporting characters like Captain Marvel do need Nick Fury because it doesn't work by itself. And then even with Secret Invasion, that particularly wasn't a great series. Nick Fury is more of this supporting character than its own. Some people are made to be these supporting characters, and I feel like with film industries, series and games, to really just stick to them being that side B character. Personally, I think the lesson needs to come away from this is, if something is original, rather than just milking it over and over again, learn to adapt and change it. I think this goes for everything in life, especially with TikTok and YouTube and everything where it's like a one-hit wonder. Rather than going, hey, let's keep doing over and over again, adapt and make it better. But that being said, it's been your boy ShvrkBait. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. And if you got any recommendations of supporting characters that have been good, do tell.